That's right. Welcome back to another video. And just walking into the shot to save us a bit of time on the edit. It might be a video, or you can just listen to these things if you want, but I've got another video to share. And this is what I was talking about the other day. So this is the 90-day plan that I've come up with. So essentially, everyone waits for a January, fresh start, waiting to feel motivated, all that good stuff, okay? But this is just a 90-day plan. I don't want to be too sort of cliche and say, fix your life in 90 days, but that's what I'm kind of saying. This is how I would advise fixing your life in 90 days. So, if you start today, by February, you're going to be 90 days ahead of everyone else, still maybe stuck in the whole new year, new me, all that sort of carry on. So this is the exact 90-day framework that I've used myself, used with some clients that's needed it. Basically, it's been trialled for a long time, and it's just something that I kind of want to share. So the first thing that I want to clear up is why 90 days. So 90 days is a fantastic amount of time to build some habits, and I don't mean build all your habits all in one go. I've got a bit of cold, I apologise. But 90 days, you can build several fantastic habits in that time, which with very little effort. It's essentially 12 focused weeks. So for me at the moment, I've been really solid in terms of my consistency, in terms of going to the gym, my meal prep, everything like that. Every box has been ticked, and I've been doing that. By Christmas, it'll be just over, I think it'll just be over the 12-week mark. I think it'll be 13 weeks. So essentially, this is the exact framework that I'm using at the moment between now and essentially Christmas Day, ready to kind of have a little bit of downtime at Christmas, a bit of family time, that kind of thing, ready to get back to it after Christmas and after New Year's Eve, essentially. So 90 days is just long enough to see some real results without sort of overwhelming yourself. 12 weeks, everyone can commit to 12 weeks, not saying 2 years or a year or 365 days to fix your life. It's something where you can really get some great results. You need 1 or 2 big goals max. And I would say with that could be something like lose a stone of body weight. It could be something like starting a business. Something that's big, something that's going to light you up. Don't pick something that's boring and you've got no interest in. So don't say, I want to learn another language if you're not bothered about doing that, or learning a certain skill or a certain course that you don't really give a toss about. Don't do it. Have 3 to 5 non-negotiables a day. So that could be anything from, when you're sort of going to set out to go to bed. It could be a step count. It could be eating 3 portions of fruit and veg a day, something small like that, just anything better than what you're doing now. It's about having weekly reviews. So I'm not saying you need to extensively journal or anything like that, but just getting some notes together a couple of times a week, some sort of check-in sheet where you go over emotions of the week, everything like that. That is all very, very useful. There's no starting over every other Monday. This is not going to be too overwhelming. So when I've been stuck, always using 90 days has very much helped me. So 90-day training blocks, maybe in, as I'm doing at the moment in terms of fitness. But there are essentially 4 pillars that I would say with this. Firstly, environment rebuild. So with that, whatever space you're in, so for example, me working from home, essentially doing these kinds of videos and content and everything like that, and talking to obviously my clients, doing check-ins, all that kind of thing, then the environment needs to be clean and nice to work in. Do you know what I mean? Like everything's nice. We've got a comfortable place to work from, everything like that. So wherever it is, sort your environment out. Make sure you've got clean space, somewhere nice to just be studying in, working in, everything like that. If you live at home, for example, fix your corner of the world, if you like. So your room, your desk, your routine, whatever it is. Evaluate your relationships. Figure out who's draining you, who's supporting you, who's encouraging you, okay? Set some boundaries with that as well. So anything that you don't want to be associated with, don't do it. don't be trying to change your life around people that don't want you to improve. Simple as that. So, secondly, body transformation, something that I've said a lot, even on, calls with people, consultation calls, things like that. I always say it's mind and body. So it's all great sorting your environment out. That's going to help you massively mentally, declutter you a little bit, but the body transformation is going to be the main thing. So that's exercising 3 to 4 times a week. So that's walks, that's gym. I mean, steps really should be every day and should be 6,000 to 8,000 as a very bare minimum for most people. Water is obviously key. Having a high protein diet. Trying to have the same meals most days is very useful in terms of meal prep, calorie counting, all that kind of stuff. Makes it very, very easy. You're tracking your calories. Again, very straightforward. I mean, even the power of ChatGPT now, you can take a photo or something that'll tell you what's in it. So again, stuff like that, very, very useful. And just trying to sort of progress a little bit every workout, okay? So an actual stat that you can find. Men's testosterone's dropped about 1% a year since the 1980s on average. So for our generation, the one that I'm part of, I think anyone aged like 20 to 40, something like that, that's 30 to 40% lower than like people before us, like our parents and that kind of thing. So training, sleep and body fat are the biggest things that you can fix to sort this out. And those are the things that have kind of declined a lot since the 80s. So obviously training with that, people aren't as active as they used to be because everyone seems to have a car. You pass your test, you get a car. I didn't. I didn't bother doing my test till I was 22 when I could afford to. Well, I still had to save 9 months to get a car. But again, a lot of people, sort of my generation, younger, things like that, they're not needing to walk places. Everyone seems to have a car. Sleep, because of things like your Netflix, your gaming, YouTube, whatever, you're living on that on a night rather than getting yourself to bed. Body fat, we don't need to go too much into that. But again, as we know, the amount of fast food, Domino's, all this American stuff that's come over, Dunkin' Donuts, whatever else, like people are just falling victims to that. And, as we know, obesity stats are through the roof. So your mindset and identity, again, something that you need to work on. Start acting who you want to be. So, for example, if you're someone that wants to do a complete body transformation, similar like what I've done, then think about what would you need to be doing in order to transform your body in that way. What would you be doing? You'd be going to bed on time, you'd be getting your steps in, you'd be training, you'd be meal prepping. It's it's the same boring stuff, but this is the kind of thing that works. Be someone who handles stress better. Be someone who trains, who's active. Look at your habits all the time. Something that I've tried not to get super fixated on, but something that is very, very useful is looking at your data every week. So, for example, what's your screen time been? What's your sleep tracker been? If you're wearing a smartwatch, even just one on the cheaper end of things like this, what is that telling you in terms of like your habits, your steps, your sleep, so on? Like, very, very good to be a little bit data driven at times without getting obsessed, and try and just cut them bad habits every week. Try adding some more good ones in. Most people are not failing because of motivation. A lot of the time, it's environment, that kind of thing, that is having people still thinking that they're their old selves. Being around the people that still see them from school and things like that, that they haven't, if you like, moved with the times or moved with yourself. So your routine and your system. So I hate using the word systems really, but I do feel it's pretty relevant. So in terms of your morning routine, dead easy. Wake up on your first alarm, get up and out, have some water, make sure you've, getting straight out, trying to get a bit of sunlight, bit of movement, a little bit of planning your day. If you haven't planned the day the night before, then just have a couple of minutes just getting into the zone, thinking about what needs to be done. On a night, super simple, turn the phone off. I don't even bother with like a do not disturb. I just knock it straight off, and I'm old fashioned and relying on that. rely on an alarm clock. So yeah, very useful. Prep your clothes the night before to go to the gym, so you can literally, or your steps, whatever you're doing, roll out of bed, you're there and you're out the door before you have a chance to think about it. No sitting in bed, doom scrolling, just wasting time, wasting the day. If you've been good enough to get up on your first alarm, then just get things done with your day. Okay? Systems are going to be motivation, having things in place. So, the weekly review, I touched on this briefly. I just want to do a little bit more around it. So, this is where frameworks kind of become fail-proof in a way. So, what worked, what didn't, what needs changing, what's the goal for next week? Write them things down, okay? Dead easy. So, for me, so far this week, what worked? If I look at last week, for me, from my notes I put down here, what worked? Dropped another kilo in body weight, got all my gym sessions, all my steps done, meal prep done for the week. What didn't work? There was one night I was a little bit late to bed. Just, as I say, due to being up and chatting with family a little bit, that was just on me. That was one of those things. That one night's sleep made us a little bit more tired for the next day. So what needs to be changing? This week, tick the boxes as I've done the previous week. So far this week, got to bed at a decent time, got settled down, gone for 10:30, which is perfect for getting up at 7:30 for me. 5:30, sorry, for me. So what's one goal for the week? So for me this week, same as last week, just make sure everything is better. One good week won't change your life. If we can stack 12 in a row like this 90 days, that will. What we're going to look at in 90 days' time, your weight will be down, your physique's going to be tighter, sleep is going to be better, energy's going to be better, social life hopefully going to be a little bit cleaner. Hopefully you would have more confidence, more opportunities, better relationships, and just better momentum overall in general. Okay? So, with that being said, if you want access to my full 12-week planner, comment 90 days below. I will get that sent out to you. Don't wait for January. Don't wait for motivation. Start the day. You'll be unrecognisable and amazed with what you can achieve by February. So, it's been a pleasure as always. I shall leave this one there. Should you need anything, drop it in the comments below. I'll see you on the next one. God bless you. Take care. Bye-bye.